Hi students, this video is just a brief introduction to week one of Humanities 105. Um, as I mentioned in the welcome video, this class is called The Human Struggle. And mostly what we mean by that um, in terms of this class is how humans have tried to make sense of their human experience, how they've searched for truth and knowledge and freedom and a way to live a meaningful life throughout history. In this class, we're going to start in the Enlightenment, basically. But the Enlightenment was, which is basically around the 17th and 18th century in Europe. But the Enlightenment was very much a reaction to what is sometimes called the medieval period, sometimes called the Dark Ages, and feudalism. So we're going to learn a little bit about feudalism in the Dark Ages as a way of better understanding the writers we're reading, who were more in line with the Enlightenment, more moving from feudalism into the Enlightenment. Sometimes people question a literature or philosophy or humanities class that is rooted in Europe. A lot of people say, oh, that's white people's history. It doesn't represent the full history of the world, which is absolutely true. There were many other cultures making important contributions at the same time in Asia and South America and Africa. But the reason we're starting in Europe is because European thought dominated so much of the world and so much of our world for so long. So sometimes it's helpful to start there so that as we expand our reading and read about other cultures, we know, what culture was dominant and why other cultures might have, and still to this day do, rebel against that dominant culture. So we're going to start in Europe. We're also going to start with some really challenging readings. In fact, probably the hardest readings we do in this class come in the first few weeks. Fortunately, though, since this is a class in reading and writing, we're going to talk a lot about, and we're going to practice using specific reading strategies that might help you understand and sort of wrestle with these readings. I do want to make a case for the value of challenging readings. I know it can be very uncomfortable sometimes to read a really challenging text, but what I hope, the analogy I always like to use with my students, reading a text that feels almost too hard for you is like playing tennis with somebody who's better at tennis than you. You could play somebody that you can beat really easily, but you probably won't learn that much about tennis. However, if you consistently play somebody who's better at tennis than you, even if you're getting beaten all the time, you're probably going to get to be a better player. And that's how I think about challenging reading, that the more we challenge ourselves to read difficult texts, the better we're going to get at reading those difficult texts. And one of, I think, the best things about being in school is that you're reading these texts with other people. So my hope is that we can help each other understand them, that we can wrestle with them together, that none of us have to pretend that we understand every word, not even me, of these essays, but that we can share that exploration together. So let's dive in. And you'll be seeing me in a few more videos this week, but this is the end of the first one.